Let's get the show on the road, babe.
When the fathers got together that 4th of July day, that's when the land you're standing on became the USA. United we will stand, but divided we fall. One nation under God says it all. Men are created equal, words written in by hand. They all stand to fight when a cry for freedom rings. Freedom isn't free, it comes with a cost. One nation under God says it all. One nation under God says it all. This whole world's changing, it's changing every day. For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Stand up everybody, stand proud and tall. One nation under God.
Good evening and welcome to IITW Radio. Good evening. I see Doug Williams is on there. How you doing, Doug and Jolie? Okay, tonight we have, as always, Mr. Greg Williams on the air. I got to do a couple things real quick before we get going here. If you haven't signed up for Rebuild Florida, you need to do that. You only have a couple of days left. If you had damage during Hurricane Irma, you need to get over there and sign up for it, because those are the 29th, you will not be able to sign up for it anymore. And I'll give you a little bit more on that tomorrow night. Okay, we got Mr. Greg Williams. We got a lot to go over. We had some glitches tonight. How you doing, Greg? That's why we're getting started late.
Good to see you.
Where's your tie at? Or your leather jacket?
I took it off, but it took so long to get the show going, I had to take the tie off.
Stinking gremlins. I think we have conspiracy going against us.
Yeah.
It only seems to happen on Tuesday night.
It's the Twitter Nazis.
Twitter Nazis. So how you doing? You have a good week?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's great to be an American.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. I'd rather live here than any place else in the world. Even though we have a screwed up system, it's still the best in the whole wide world. Probably in the universe.
Yeah. Only in America can a bartender become a representative of New York with 12,000 votes and not a lick of sense.
Oh, yeah. Hey, did you catch where all these women are now not having kids because it's not just here in the United States, but because of the Green Deal and all the publicity on this crap. All these women over in, I think it was like 26% of the women now in Australia say they don't want to have kids because the Earth's going to end in 12 years.
You know what? That scam has been going on for for the beginning of time. The sky is falling down. The sky is falling down. The earth is going to end. You know what I say? I say, hey, the earth's going to end when the good Lord decides, and until he decides, I'm not going to worry about it.
Well, of course it'll end in 12 years. If women quit having babies, something's going to happen. There's not going to be anybody left to carry on.
Well, if the Democratic Party has their way, men will be sleeping with men and women will be sleeping with women, and there'll never be any more children.
Well, if they keep not having any kids, but I'm kind of grateful to that, because some of these people that I listen to, they don't need to have children. What the hell's wrong with them?
Yeah, chilling.
Do not carry on them chilling. Oh, speaking of chillings, now somebody's going to say I'm racist now. Did you see where old Smollett got off? Now, you're an attorney. Explain to me how this guy can have so much evidence against him, and in Chicago walk away, and the police chief and the mayor are pissed about it. Smollett.
Can you say corruption, baby? How about the most corrupt city in the country? Chicago. Chicago, the land of Al Capone. Totally basking in corruption, where justice is on sale. where justice is on sale. In this case, I think it was $10,000 bond that the Cook County people took to drop the charges because George Soros must be pulling the chains over there. I think George Soros funded the state attorney over there. But Chicago, it's a Democratic city and a Democratic stronghold. It is corrupt, and justice is for sale in Chicago. And you know what? It makes me want to throw up. A guy can get away with that kind of stuff.
He gets 16 felony charges on him. Now, you're an attorney. How in the hell do you get 16 felonies with videos and checks where he paid the guys?
You know, listen, he's not out of the woods yet, if you ask me. I think there was some possible federal law things that he might have done. But the fact of the matter is, hey, talk about catching a break of a lifetime. But the arrogance of the whole thing. They're so corrupt. And what this is the Democratic Party, folks. There's justice for the elite. There's justice for the well-connected. But there's not justice for you and me. You know, unless, of course, I'm representing you. You may have something. No, I'm just kidding. But what I'm getting at is, seriously, justice is we're now living almost in a two-tiered justice system. Apparently, you can be a Democrat. You can be the worst kind of people and be a Democrat and basically get a free pass on just about everything. It makes me sick, especially if it's in a red state. Now, if he was in Texas or Florida or any of the flyover states and did this, with the exception of Illinois and Chicago, he probably would have still be prosecuted. I mean, this was a horrible thing he did. Tried to start a race war. Total thing was bogus. Everybody knew it. And now they've done everything they can to cover it up in crooked Chicago.
Hey, Stan, what's going on? Stan just joined in.
It's a crooked city.
Yeah, now, I mean, it's definitely crooked. But you know what? And I'm going to say this, and some people are going to get pissed off when I say this. It's not a race thing. But to me, anymore, if a black person gets prosecuted, then you're racist. I mean, you know, look at what happened to Simpson. You know.
Well, you know,
OJ.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, OJ was It's amazing how inept the prosecution was in California, but maybe that was by design.
Hollywood elites. Hollywood elites.
I mean, you know, they made so many bad calls in that OJ Simpson prosecution. It was terrible. The one that bothers me the worst is the Bill Cosby prosecution. You know, you want to think maybe he was guilty, maybe they did it right, but something bugs me about how that whole thing went down, and you know, a lot of innuendo and 30-year-old evidence, and at some point in time it makes you wonder, because I heard that none of this would have come up if Bill Cosby wasn't trying to buy NBC. But I don't know. The whole thing is terrible. If he was guilty of as charged, then he's, you know, was a terrible, terrible guy. But, you know, they don't always get it right. Sometimes the state will convict somebody that wasn't guilty. You know, it's rare, but it does happen on occasion.
Well, it took 30 years. Let me grab my mouse. I got to see what some of these comments are here. It took 30 years to prosecute him. But whether it's a race thing or not, it's still wrong. I mean, and when the police chief and the mayor get pissed off and are saying it's bogus, then you know something's definitely wrong.
Of course it's bogus. Of course it's bogus. But you know what? Those California prosecutors, they couldn't even convict Michael Jackson. Didn't Michael Jackson do the moon dance on top of a van or something when they were trying to prosecute him for pedophilia or something?
He held his baby out over a multi-story building, which, you know, that would have been, DCF would have been all over URI. We'd have never seen our kids after that.
Again, we have a two-tier justice system. It's wrong. It is wrong. Fortunately, here in Florida, I don't see it near like I see it in these big Democrat strongholds.
I don't know. You got Florida now that's wanting to go ahead and let illegals and stuff vote and give them driver's license and stuff.
I haven't heard heard anything about that.
Yeah,
And nobody gets to vote until they're a citizen, by God, if I have anything to do with it. You don't let non-citizens vote. If you do that, then you're just plain dumb. You know, any Republican that signed off to letting non-citizens vote is a complete idiot who's betrayed the country.
Yeah.
No, you just don't cross the fence and oh, here's your driver's license. And by the way, we registered you as a Democrat. Now go vote. The guy can't read, he can't write, he can't even speak the language, doesn't know his customs, doesn't know our customs, and we're supposed to let him vote? Give me a break.
Hello, Skidmore. Skidmore says hello, and Miss Debbie's on, and Jolie said if the race was reversed, it would be live coverage, aired all day, and prosecuted to the fullest extent. She's absolutely right. If a white guy, if it had been two white guys there that was setting him up, oh my God, all hell would have broke loose. But these other two guys, these weightlifters now, they're not facing any prosecution.
The whole thing was a crock from the get-go. But this is almost as funny as Aviani, whatever his name is.
Michael
Avenatti. Porn lawyer is
Avenatti.
Yeah, Avenatti. You know, CNN had him on like 200 times. I mean, you know, that may be a little hyperbole, CNN, maybe a slight exaggeration. I might be puffing CNN, but they had him on hundreds of times, okay? And they idolized that guy. And Aviani represented everything that CNN stood for and stands for today. And look what Aviani is. He's a lying con man, just like the network.
The creepy porn lawyer tried to extort Nike for $25 million. Now he's up for, see, he's up for extortion, wire fraud, and tax evasion. I mean, you name it, the guy's got it against him right now. $25 million.
CNN loves him. Hey, but CNN's got his back. He's a special guest star of CNN today, tomorrow, yesterday, and forever.
Yeah, Michael Avenatti.
CNN. We love any crooked liberal we can find at CNN, and anybody that doesn't like Donald Trump, we love. How about that lunatic Mika Brezhnev? What's her name? Brzezinski, Mika?
Yeah.
Anyway, I used to like her until she destroyed Joe Scarborough's marriage and became the other woman, and then they got married, and now they're living their John Lennon Yoko lifestyle, which may work for them. But man, she hates Trump. They all hate Trump, and you know, I like Trump because Trump's different.
Well, he's a business guy, and people don't understand. The United States of America is a business. And when we hire somebody to take over our company, we hire them to come in and do the best job possible. Not like past presidents where you go in and you rape the system and you spend more than all the presidents combined. You come up with a tax and you call it a health care thing. Now they're pissing and moaning because the court said today in Texas it's illegal. You can't do it. Now, I understand that people are getting ready to lose their health care, but today Trump walked into the Senate. And that's one thing that's pissing me off about the Republicans. There was 14 or 16 of them that sided today to where Trump had the where he's got his emergency declaration, his resolution. Well, it was overridden. His veto was overridden today. Or they backed his veto. So he's going to get $1 billion.
He didn't get overridden. His veto stands.
Yeah, I just said it wrong. They're backing him, but 16 Republicans went against him over on the Democratic side, went against him on an emergency declaration. So he's still getting $1 billion for the wall if he's getting that through the Pentagon.
It's going to play out. I mean, he's going to drag the Republican Party across the finish line in spite of themselves.
Thank
God for Trump, because he really has saved the country from its own worst impulses. And the left and the Democratic Party, they're so anti-American. They're pro-socialism. They're pro them being in power. These are the same people that would have us speaking Russian if they could. These are the same people that thought Reagan was being too tough on Gorbachev, who gave Russia just about everything they wanted. The Dems are hypocrites. They're bad for the country. Their government is bad. CNN is their spokesperson. They're bad. They're a bunch of lying left-wing lunatics. I don't think the country's had to deal with the far left like like we are now. And the far left is dominating media, it's dominating education, and it's got to stop. Okay, and I think Trump is starting to, reverse that.
I got a bunch of comments coming in. Stan Split said, "Look at Sebastian Gorelick," and he says, "Rhino's the one of ours is playing on that side." And I'm trying to figure out what the left is going for here. They don't want any walls. They don't want open borders. I mean, they want open borders.
They want everybody to vote, and they want late-term abortion. What else do you want to know?
You want to know?
People back late-term abortion, and they want illegals to vote, and they care more about illegals than they do American citizens. And that's wrong, man. They don't even care about American tradition. The left is trying to destroy our history, destroy our culture, and destroy our future, all in one. They go after our institutions, they go after our history, and you got these idiots like Bill Maher spewing their venom, in late night television. I mean, God rest your soul, Johnny Carson, the last great late night comedian. Letterman was okay, but he wasn't Carson. But these guys, these clowns on now, there's nothing funny about what they do. There was a guy from Australia that used to be pretty funny, and then he ran his course. But and Conan's has got some redeeming qualities, but they're terrible. Jimmy Kimmel, the whole bunch of them are terrible.
I'm for legal immigration, but not illegal. And you know what? I tell you what would solve the whole thing, Greg. Quit giving them crap.
Legal immigration too. We all for legal immigration.
Don't give them nothing when they come here. Don't give them nothing. I mean nothing. Don't give them health care. Don't check them out. Don't do nothing. Make them stay in freaking and build a wall in between the fences. Build 2 fences so you can hang out there till your paperwork goes through.
Is legal, organized immigration. Anybody that wants to come to this country ought to be quarantined for a week or two to make sure that they can have their health checked out. We don't need to be allowing third world diseases to destroy our country's health care. But the George Soroses of the world, the left-wing lunatics that run the Democratic Party, they've got no problem. OAC is not going to go to the border. She's not going to go hang out with the Mexicans with the diseases. She's going to be over there in New York eating steak and drinking champagne. So it is what it is. The left is out of control, and people need to recognize it for what it is. It is nothing more than a power grab by the elite in our country.
Back in the day, when people came from Ireland, when people came from Cuba, and I've talked to some people there and some older people that have come from Cuba. As a matter of fact, my ex-wife's family came from Cuba. When they came here, they didn't have squat. They didn't get anything from the government. If their family didn't help them out, they didn't get anything. Her uncle lived on the streets and then worked down at the ship docks. People from Ireland came over. They didn't get free health care, driver's license, my Social Security freaking money.
They worked their way up and they earned it. But, again, for every successful person, somebody may not have been successful. Hey, the Irish had a tough time when they first immigrated. A lot of people do. But, one thing that you touched on is, if we're not giving people all this stuff for free, they go to work and earn it. There's not a more vibrant minority community in the country than the Cuban community down in Miami. I mean, the Vietnamese community in California was very vibrant. I mean, but you start giving stuff away and you don't have to work, and next thing you know, you create a culture that is not as productive as they should be. Something about work ethic makes a difference, and we need to encourage a strong work ethic.
2,000 illegals every day for the past month have been being turned out. 2,000 a day because they don't have any place to house them. So they're letting them go. They haven't been fully vetted. 2,000 a day.
Whose idea was that? Whose idea was, look, come over here and we'll just let you go? That's probably some stupid Democrat. And these guys need to be voted out. I'm telling you. And California is a mess. In California, you don't even know how bad it's going to get. Your state's going broke, and your governor cares more about the illegal population than he does the citizens of California.
A few days ago, 400 illegals came across the border that they captured in 10 minutes. Now take it, do the math on that.
There's no crisis.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
You know, you got 200,000 or 2,000 illegals a day. At times that, and people let them figure it up on their own calculators. I'm not going to do the math. Times 365 days.
Get as much fence and wall up as he can get, and I hope, and he will be very efficient building that wall. And you know, let's just keep it going, okay? After they spend this billion, maybe they can find another billion and just keep it going. Because we got to make some things happen. You can't count on Congress for nothing. The Democrats have been selling the country out for a long time, and now they're back in power trying to sell the country out even further. And if they could, they'd find a way to give the mullahs in Iran another $10 billion in cash, but they can't do that because Trump won't let them.
Yep. Let's see. Stan Pitt.
Oh, how about one other thing? How about the Muslim Brotherhood running the Democratic Party? And if you're a Democratic politician, you can't be pro-Israel anymore. They don't even want you speaking at AIPAC. They don't want you doing anything.
No, I know. So, okay, we got to get on Mueller real quick because we only have like 28 minutes here. The Russian collusion. Now, answer me this.
The collusion delusion.
The collusion delusion. The Dems are freaking out right now and saying, well, there's still collusion or there's still obstruction. How can there be obstruction on a false narrative? I mean, you can't sit there and say...
People don't care about the truth. They don't care. They don't care about the truth. As Vito would say, it's their truth, and it's not our truth.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife's raising my kid.
O'Rourke?
Yeah, Vito. My wife's raising my kid while I'm out here, you know, talking gibberish.
This guy's short, two sandwiches short of a picnic. I mean, his ass is overloading his mind.
I think he's signing.
He brought back dirt from New Mexico and fed it to his wife and children. And he's been eating dirt, saying it gives him powers.
Beto?
Yeah. You didn't see that?
Dumber than, hey, I don't know who's dumber, Beto or OAC, but there's your ticket. Beto and OAC.
Yeah, if they eat enough dirt, then the planet will end.
Yeah, go build some windows while Russian builds a war machine.
It gets rid of it gets rid of the farting cows when you're eating nothing but dirt. I mean, let them eat the grass.
Yeah.
Jeez, what an idiot. But I mean, you got even your favorite gal there, Miss Beauty Pageant, was saying that, you know, the collusion in this. Now she's backing it up a little bit, but those little Dems are eating her ass up. This little socialist.
Must be talking about Granny.
Oh yeah.
Who's your choice for possum queen? Granny. Granny. She don't drive no limousine. Granny all the way.
Yeah, but you know what?
Pelosi?
Yeah.
Are you saying Pelosi's Granny?
Yeah, Pelosi.
Hey, Granny.
She's
a real granny to all those liberal Muslim Brotherhood freako Democrats they elected.
Well, that's not a turban on her head. It's a freaking diaper.
Oh, Granny. Granny's got her hands full.
Yeah, okay. Where in the hell is the Washington Post, MSNBC, NBC, New York Times, CNN, and all of them right now apologizing to Trump? Because if they say there's no collusion, okay, but they're going to get him on obstruction, and now they've moved from obstruction to his taxes. You know what? I want to see everyone from CNN's taxes, everyone on the Capitol Hill, pull all of them's taxes. If you're going to be fair,
you know what I like to see less of? I like to see less of these stupid CNN news readers that they've got. I mean, I'm not interested in anything Don Lemon has to say, and there he is all the time. I'm not really interested in what Shepard Smith has to say. He may even be on Fox.
Yeah, Shepard Smith's on Fox. I don't care for him.
And what some of those other news readers they've got have to say. And who's that other crooked one? Mad Cow. What's her name? Mad Cow? Rachel Mad Cow?
Yeah.
Man, that mad cow, she's unbelievable. She wouldn't know the truth if it bit her in the behind.
Stan Pit Road, PETA. Skidmore still waiting on Hillary's emails. Well, it looks like O'Barr might be going after her. I mean,
all I know is all roads lead to Obama and Hillary.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
Who's more crooked? Obama shouldn't get a free pass either. This whole thing with Trump hatched under Obama. Obama was part of it. It's sad. It's a renegade Justice Department. The Democrats have since Bill Clinton have made a mockery of the Department of Justice.
well, you know what? They need to go after James Clapper and Brenner. I mean, where the hell? Why they haven't arrested them for lying to Congress, and then for them lying and saying, "Well, we never wiretapped citizens," and then it turns right out they did.
Soros is paying both of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, they never. I mean, where's Mueller on that investigation? Where the Democrats on that investigation? And I know both those assholes are sitting over on CNN like, "Oh yeah, they're Trump colluded."
Look, all the Democrats are about putting out fires. Whenever one of their Democrat brothers do something stupid, they want to put out the fire. This guy Smollett, he ought to be locked up. Okay, I'm hoping the feds go after him on his mail fraud stuff he was doing. I don't know. The whole thing, the crookedness of the city of Chicago never ceases to amaze me.
And now let me ask you this: you're an attorney. If I come in and make false statements against somebody, right? I've got a chance of being sued, correct?
Yeah, you have a chance of being sued.
Okay,
unlikely, but you could happen.
How come Mueller and them aren't getting sued, and how come the left isn't getting sued, or in some people on the right, when you got people like Stone?
Filed a suit against Mueller. The problem with suing, you can't really sue prosecutors because of sovereign immunity. I mean, it's got to be a real egregious act to be able to sue a prosecutor for anything.
Well, you could take Mueller all the way back to the mafia.
And this immunity, sovereign immunity, that makes it hard to sue, even hard to sue a police officer, frankly.
But what about
it's what it is. I mean, anybody can sue anybody, but it's hard to sue sometimes.
But what about Stone and Carter Page and Papadopoulos? I mean, they bankrupted these guys.
I mean, again, their lives have been wrecked. Or at least torn asunder for a period of time. And there should be a remedy. I think that the best remedy hope we have is this fantastic lawyer representing the school students that were assaulted by that Indian group up there in D.C.
Oh yeah.
And the idiot far left church group that was like Farrakhan wannabes.
The black Jewish group.
Yeah, whoever they were. But I think that the suit against CNN and the Washington Post and some of these other media that's where your best chance for reform is. The media needs to be held accountable. Right now, they think they can bold-faced lie to the American public for 2 years and just tell every lie they can, completely misrepresent the news, political news, and I'm talking about you specifically, CNN and MSNBC and NBC and ABC and CBS. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Vanessa Shaw says hello.
Hey, Vanessa.
But I don't get it how that, like Carter Page, his whole life was these guys Stone and all of them, and then they've lost everything.
I'm still rooting for Stone.
Papadopoulos came in.
Stone wins his trial. He might have a shot at winning that damn thing.
Well, Papadopoulos' attorneys went in today and asked the White House. They asked Trump's lawyers to give him a pardon, and Papadopoulos. Yeah, Papadopoulos said, I'm not going to reject it if he does. I don't blame him either because these guys got railroaded.
Let me tell you, the whole thing stunk to high heaven, and I hope it was an eye-opener. I mean, here's the thing. A good prosecutor could convict a ham sandwich. I mean, really. For being a ham sandwich, I'll convict you. I mean, especially like at a grand jury proceeding or something, you could just lead them to the result that you want, depending on how you frame the issue. So I get bothered when I see super aggressive prosecution like they showed on Stone, and kind of like just being a little over the top, and gee, it seems like there ought to be a more civil way on some of these cases, especially when they're not threats to harm other people. I don't think that political situations should necessarily be treated like some mafia hitman.
Yeah. Now the left is going to love this when I say this. The John McCain, Republican, couldn't stand the guy. Do I think he was an American hero? And I'm not saying it because Trump was backing him. I'm saying it going off of his past. I didn't care for the guy, not after he went out to Sioux Six Indians out there and him and John Kerry took away the Indians' lands, their burial grounds, gave it away. Then, and to top it off, and when he was on the aircraft carrier and killed a bunch of our own boys on the aircraft carrier.
I'm not a fan of John McCain either. I thought that he married well. I'll give him credit for that. He married well, but I've always thought he was a crappy turncoat rhino in the worst form and fashion. And he ran one of the worst presidential campaigns I've ever seen. He ran a campaign that made Romney's campaign look a lot better. I mean, he made Romney look good. Now, Romney ran a bad campaign because he couldn't be comfortable in his own skin. There's nothing wrong with being successful in America. And had Romney embraced his success, he might have won. But McCain was terrible candidate, terrible. Sabotaged the whole Republican Party. And what he did on Obamacare thing was terrible, too. We would have done a lot better. We'd been a lot further down the road. I will say this. Whenever Trump's through with health insurance, and we will make it better, pre-existing conditions are going to be covered. There's no solution to health care without pre-existing conditions being covered. And frankly, if you did it right, it wouldn't be but about 1 or 2% increase across the board for everybody to cover pre-existing conditions. And that's just it. But you don't have to cover every little thing. My goodness, you don't cover everything. People are going to get sick. You just want to make sure they don't go broke when they get sick.
Well, that's the first thing Trump said when he walked in the Senate today. The first thing we're going to do on this health care bill is make sure that pre-existings are covered. But back to McCain. McCain took the false dossier that was set up, and he took it.
He was part of it.
And then
he was part of the Gang of Eight. He's crook.
Yeah, and then he handed it over and started. He's basically the one that started the whole damn thing. So I have no respect for him. And I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I just say it as I see it. If people don't like it and it pisses them off, I don't give a crap. But
look, I'm a Republican. I was never a big fan of McCain, although I do like Sarah Palin, and I thought that was a good pick because I like Sarah Palin.
He crapped on her, though. He crapped on her. He made her look like a complete idiot.
Under the bus too, but that's McCain. And again, I'm not a fan of McCain. And I thought that Trump was nothing but class, loaning the family Air Force One, staying away from the funeral. McCain was an asshole, but it is what it is. Some people may like McCain, but just because you were a vet doesn't mean you're a great politician.
Just because he's dead doesn't make him a saint. I could care less if he was dead or alive.
I like Hubert Humphrey more than I like McCain. There's a lot of people I like. Scoop Jackson, a Democrat from Washington, loved him. He was a fantastic voice. Sam Nunn from Georgia liked all those guys better than McCain. McCain, let me tell you what you need to know about McCain. McCain supported John Kerry for Secretary of State. That tells you all you need to know. Secretary of State Kerry was one of the worst. He and Hillary were two of the worst Secretary of States we've ever had. And I don't know who was worse. But the fact that McCain would support Kerry for that position, knowing Kerry was wrong on just about every major foreign policy issue over the last 30 years, is unbelievable. But McCain was he was a Democrat in Republican clothing.
Well, yeah, and look what happened at Benghazi. You had a Republican and a Democrat, and you had a bunch of our men and boys killed. For what? They had already asked for them, and people forget about Benghazi. They forget about cash for clunkers. They forget about, Obamacare, how much it cost. I mean, the thing imploded. And then it blew up. It exploded. And then you still got Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein, which I haven't heard a whole lot from her back for a while. But you got all these ones sitting back now, and they're just shutting up and letting these new kids just trash their party.
Well, I think it's a little bit more than that. I think what you've got is you've got a few people that have a little more common sense. Now, Feinstein really lost a lot of credibility to me when the way she handled the last Supreme Court nomination.
Yeah,
so I don't have any real room for her. I think she's an idiot because of how she treated our newest addition to the Supreme Court, who was a fantastic judge. What their problem is they know that the Democrats are marching to the beat of the Pied Piper, marching to the road of self-destruction. Okay, so there's nothing they can do about it.
Well, shifty shift
owns the Democratic Party. George Soros and the Muslim Brotherhood run the Democratic Party, and you heard it here first.
Yeah. Adam Schiff, he's back at it again. Okay, well, now we're going to go after obstruction. On what? He didn't commit any crime.
Let's just be real clear. Schiff is an idiot, okay? That guy should be nowhere near political power anywhere. He shouldn't be a small-town mayor. The people of California are obviously smoking crack instead of marijuana.
Oh, yeah. Well, none of them, you notice none of them ever go to Colorado. They're always in Washington.
Schiff is completely, and the other guy, Swarthmore, or whoever the guy is, that they got a couple of left-wing Dems over there that just hate Trump so much that they'll say anything and do anything. And they've been lying. And they just keep lying. They don't care when they get caught in the lie. They just are oblivious to their own lying. I mean, they believe their own delusions. That's why they call it the collusion delusion.
Well, the only thing I can hear coming out of the left here lately is, what are they going to try to shut down that Trump's doing? Okay, we got the highest home ownership for blacks and Hispanics. Do they want that going? Let's put the blacks and the Hispanics back down to nothing again. You got more women in the workplace than has ever been in with higher wages. Do they want to destroy that? I can't find anything they're running on. Open up the borders.
What they really want to do,
bullshit.
If left to their own devices, they would turn the United States of America into South Africa. Okay, they would just destroy all the institutions. They destroy the Constitution. And then they try to set up some stupid utopia society that would never work. And the whole country would be like Venezuela.
The bad thing about socialism is
their policies are terrible. They've always been terrible. And now they want to let a bunch of third world illegals vote and basically determine the direction of our country. Give me a break.
Well, the thing about socialism is that there's no incentive to do anything. When you're not going to make more than anybody else, there's no incentive to do anything. And after the rich people's money runs out, who else's money going to look at Venezuela? But Skidmore had a good comment here. She said, "Oh, hello, Corinne. I know Corinne. She went to school with my daughter. She's a little sweetheart." Yeah, Skidmore wrote in here, "How can you expect people who hasn't had health care to not have pre-existing conditions?" And she's right about that.
Everybody gets health care. I don't care. We are going to get health care for everybody. And that's the way it should be. I mean, what I'm saying is pre-existing conditions will be covered, period. Okay? They've got to be covered. Now, the question is going to be, how are they going to administer the program? And whatever they do, it's going to be better than Obamacare. I can tell you that. It can't be any worse than Obamacare.
Well, if they do like the savings accounts, but then, of course, the government will wind up spending it like they did our Social Security. And that's another thing. Who in the hell gave these jackasses permission to give my Social Security to anybody coming across the border or to do anything else with it, to take it and use it for anything else? That's money I paid in all my freaking life. And I just got told that when I'm 65, I'm not going to be able to get Social Security because I didn't pay in enough. What the hell are they talking about?
What are you talking about? Wait a minute. Now, let me help you out on that. Now, I know, Travis, that you have worked for 40 quarters. That is the only requirement to get Social Security. You have to have 40 quarters of paying taxes. That's a 10-year stretch of time when you were working somewhere where payroll taxes were being paid. Now, if you're light a year or two, then start paying some payroll taxes and get your 10 years in.
Well, it's not 65 anymore.
You cannot get Social Security.
It's not 65 anymore. It's 68.
Whatever, you still get it as long as you paid in.
I doubt it'll even be there anymore.
Oh, it'll be there sooner or later. Hey, guess what, though? It won't matter because by the time you're 68, you'll be like Willie Nelson. You'll just be walking around smoking pot all the time.
Really? That sounds good to me. You got my attention.
You know, that'll be your medicine, your elixir that keeps you healthy.
Yeah,
I mean, Willie Nelson, who's healthier, Willie Nelson or Larry King? We know Willie Nelson smokes a lot of marijuana, and we know Larry King does Omega XL, which is that New Zealand type fish oil, but it's like muscle oil or something. Who is older and who is in better shape?
Oh, Willie. He's still the man.
Willie Nelson or Larry King? Who do you think's older?
Yeah, Willie Nelson. I take Willie Nelson any day of the week over Larry King.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have to wait and smoke it when I get in my 80s because I couldn't smoke it now. I'd be stuck underneath my truck with my keys stuck up my ass going, it's flooded. I can't get it started. That's why I don't drink now.
Anyway, you should probably be quitting anyway.
Nah, I just...
That's amazing. It's going to be really neat to see what happens with that industry. I had 150 shares of Aurora Cannabis, and then I sold it, and then it went up. That's how I am. I like to buy stock low, sell it low, and then it goes up. But I'm hoping it comes back down so I can maybe buy it when it gets low again. You know.
Yeah. Well.
But it's going to be neat to see the rollout. I mean, I think Governor DeSantis is doing a great job in every area. Education, I think he's going to make our education system better. I think our regulatory schemes will be better. I think he's going to do more for the environment, but in a smart, sensible way. And I just like what DeSantis is doing. What do you think?
Skidmore wrote actually 62, but get a portion, then 65, increase 70 full amount. Hell, I'm not going to live to be 70. I don't want to live to be 70. Yeah, maybe.
No, you need to live. You need to live to be 80. The 80s are where it's at. Ask Pelosi.
Well, thing about living to be 80 is hopefully if I get...
The 80s today are like the 60s 25 years ago.
Yeah, if I get dementia or Alzheimer's, I can flip people off and never go to jail about it and go in your honor. You know. Oh, we can't convict him. Greg's representing him in his walker. We got to get out of here, Greg. You'll be back here, I guess, next Tuesday night, or you got something going on?
I'll probably be back next Tuesday. I'm sure there'll be something interesting coming up. So you want me to close it out with my last final word?
Go ahead. You have the last.
All right. Here it is. The Democrats are bad and Trump is good. Vote for Trump and vote against Democrats because their policies are terrible.
We'll take it on that note and we'll leave it right there. We'll pick it back up next Tuesday night. Thanks, Greg, for coming on. As always, it's always a privilege to be on the air with you. And
thank you. Feel the same way.
Yeah, we got to get together for lunch. I haven't seen you in a couple of months.
All right. Well, I've lost some weight.
Okay. All right. That was Greg Williams, attorney at law up in Jacksonville. If you guys need a great attorney, I mean, this guy will go to the ends of the earth to represent somebody, and he will fight harder than anybody I've ever seen to get you exonerated. Hell, we should have had him doing Trump. You could have probably got him off the hook a long time ago. Anyways, Greg's up in Jacksonville. He does everything but murder cases. Good night, Skidmore. But he does everything but murder cases, and he even does people that are complete idiots. Hell, I've had him represent me a couple of times on a couple of different things. Nothing bad. Again, if you have not signed up for Rebuild Florida, if you have damage from Hurricane Irma and you need tarps, you only have, what's today, the 26th? 3 days left. Actually, 2 days left now. If you don't get in on this, you will lose your opportunity to either get your house rebuilt or get it remodeled or get a complete brand new one. If you do not sign up for it, and you can go on the website, you can go on Putman Way, you can look on the different things, and you'll see it. Go back in the archives on YouTube, type in IITW Radio, or type in the Putman Way on Facebook. Go to the search bar, type it up, and make sure you get on that. It's going to end. I got to thank St. John Shipbuilders again, and the person today donated a decent chunk to help out the barge. The barge is setting up at St. John Shipbuilding right now. Now, they are looking for qualified people. They are looking for ship fitters, pipe fitters, welders. Chris just put the thing up on the screen there. Has their phone, trainees with experience, without experience, machinist, all kinds of people, probably janitors, grunts to go out. They start everybody off low unless you have some great skills. But the thing is that they have weekly pay. You get paid every week. They don't hold back a check, and then, you know, a month later you get another one. They have holidays off, vacations, 401k. You can get a hold of Aaron at 386-983-8865, 386-983-8565. If you know somebody looking for a job now, they will drug test you. They're not doing a full-blown background check or whatever. Don't show up if you're a pedophile there. But they are going to drug test you. Please be clean when you go in there. It's a great place to work. They have tons and tons of work. Some of these ships that they build take a year to build. You're not going to go there and work one day and then they're going to shut down the next. They have work going on for years and years and years. You need to get over there and see them before all their jobs are gone. They employ quite a few people. So, with that being said, I got to get out of here. We got about 3 minutes left. I'm sure I can get this out. Make sure you support your volunteer firefighters. If you want to support Fort Gates Ferry, you can go on GoFundMe and type in Fort Gates Ferry and then donate there. I mean, if it's $5, we have a lot of money that has to come up to save this piece of history. A lot of money. Right now, I know we need $12,000 to $14,000 just to get it back open. Now, that's not the landing that the county's taking care of. That is just for the ferry and the barge. The county has to take care of the other stuff. You can go on YouTube and see some of the crazy videos that we've done. Right now, we're up to $1,692 out of $12,000. People, you need to donate. Donate $5. Hell, everybody can afford $5. Donate $5 on there. Okay. Make sure when you see your volunteer firefighters, you go up and thank them. Thank them for their time. They only get paid $4 to $8 a call. Pick up some stuff. Take some toilet paper, Slim Jims, snacks that won't melt. Not chocolate bars that's going to melt when they're in a fire. But take them over and drop them off some snacks, granola bars, Slim Jims, Gatorade, Powerade, that kind of stuff. And help support your local firefighters. When you see a cop, do not tell your kids, if you don't behave, I'm going to take you over there and have this officer arrest you. No, take them over and say, this guy's cool as all. Have them flip on. They'll flip on the siren for the little kids. When you see a veteran in the store, or you know a veteran, thank them for their service. And more importantly, when you see your elderly, get involved. If you check on the people, we're starting to get some hot days. Make sure that your neighbors have air conditioning. If they don't, take them over some ice water or bring them to your house. Okay, Calvin O, one of my real good friends, he opened up tonight with One Nation Under God. Tonight we got closing out his brother in arm with Austin Neal. Make sure you look at the screen as his songs are playing and support your local businesses. Okay, we're out. You guys have a good evening. We will see you back here tomorrow night at 7:30 if we don't get any more glitches. Good night. Oh, I gotta give my shout outs to Mama B, Miss Debbie, Annette, Audrey up in Louisiana, Tammy, my best friend over in Tampa who takes care of the Putman Way. Make sure you show your support to her. Man, all you guys and gals that listen, thank you, Chris and the Hobbit and Marie and everybody that helps make this show possible. We're out. Carolina a couple times, but there's that one trip
Well, there are ways among us, brothers in